to IMAX, the world's most immersive movie experience. Powered by a combination of the most advanced technology, we'll take you from the edge of your seat to the edge of reality. Enjoy crystal clear images and colors so intense they will take your breath away. In specially designed theaters that bring you closer to the movies you love. Huge panoramic screens that allow you to escape into your favorite movie scenes. And immersive sound that will surround you from here, here, and here. We can take you from a pin drop to the thunder of a jet engine. So, sit back and get ready to enjoy an unparalleled movie experience. IMAX. Never compromise.
James is a nice car.
Hi.
His friend is David.
Hi.
They have been best friends for years. They live in Silverdale, a great place to live. Kevin is a bully. He's part of the SUV club. He doesn't care about anyone but himself and his bully friends.
Get lost.
I don't feel so good about this.
Me neither.
See me right out of the sunset on your color TV screen. Out for all that I can get, if you know what I mean. Women to the left of me, and women to the right. Ain't got no gun, ain't got no knife. Don't you start no fight. 'Cause I'm TNT, I'm dynamite. TNT, and I win the fight. TNT, I'm a power load. TNT, watch me explode.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm dirty.
Get your engines ready. The grid line race is coming to Silverdale. Get your engines ready. The grid line race is coming to Silverdale.
Hi,
Hi.
what's your name?
Hi.
His name is James. He's just a little shy.
Hi.
Well, my name is Sarah.
Hi.
Why don't you guys go to the drive-in for dinner tomorrow night?
Sure.
Okay.
Who was that? James. Do you like him? Oh, yeah.
James is a bit nervous for his date. I hope all goes well.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, James.
How was your day so far?
Busy day at the car wash. How about your day?
Great. How is it working at the car wash?
It's good, but I get the annoying customer every now and then.
Okay.
You should come to the car wash.
Okay.
You can get a great wash. It feels really nice.
That sounds great.
Get your engines ready. The gridline race is coming to Silverdale. Get your engines ready. The gridline race is coming to Silverdale.
You should enter the gridline race.
Really? Me?
Yeah, it would be great.
Okay. I'll enter the race.
I hear you're gonna enter the gridline race.
Yeah.
Don't even try. I'm going to enter and win.
We'll see about that.
James, where are you going?
What was that all about?
I don't know.
Will you walk with me through this world and never let me down? Oh, listen now.
You wanted to talk?
Can you
Yes.
hear a sound?
What's going on?
I don't want to see you anymore.
Why?
I hope you're happy.
Wait! James, wait!
I really think you should get back together with Sarah.
I don't want to.
Why not?
You really want to know why?
Yeah.
I saw her washing Kevin at the car wash.
James, wait. Where are you going?
I've got a race to go to.
You're going to lose.
Get ready. Go!
I was caught in the middle of a railroad track.
Kevin is in the lead.
There was no turning back. My mind raced, and I thought,
Now James is in the lead.
and I knew there was no help from you.
Now Kevin is in the lead.
Beating in my heart, the thunder of guns tore me apart.
Who is going to win?
You've been thunderstruck. James, 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 James,
James.
You can do it, James.
James.
I can do it. I can.
James is struggling to get in the lead.
That's a game of good time.
You cheered for me?
You were great!
I hope you're happy with Kevin.
Who? Kevin?
I saw you wash Kevin.
We're not dating. He got into some mud and he came to the car wash to get cleaned up. That's all that happened.
Across the street,
Oh, I'm so silly.
river runs.
Do you want to go out with me?
Yes.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I needed the shelter of someone's arms. There you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs. There you were, with sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I want to stop and thank you, baby. I want to stop and thank you, baby. Yes, I do. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Feels so fine. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I close my eyes at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything I did was just a bore. Everywhere I went, it seems I've been there before. But you're bright enough for me all of my days. With a love so sweet in so many ways. I wanna stop, thank you, baby. I just wanna stop and thank you, baby. Oh yes, how sweet it is to be loved by you. It's just like sugar sometimes. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Whoa, yeah. You were better to me than I was to myself. For me, there's you, and there ain't nobody else. I wanna stop. Thank you, baby. I just wanna stop. And thank you, baby. Oh, yes. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, now, how sweet it is to be loved by you. It's like jelly, baby. Oh, yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Just like honey to the bee, baby. Yeah, now, how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to
We get it almost every night. And when that moon gets so big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's supernatural. keep things